Tune into ESG Matters with Risk Insights, where we explore ESG with impact. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of ESG Matters with Risk Insights. I'm your host Anushka Bogdanov. But before we dive in, congratulations to Risk Insights for advancing ESG in Africa through a superb webinar on insights into capital management in green banking. If you missed this extraordinary event, please see the link in the description for the replay. January was a significant month globally, marked by the inauguration of US President Donald Trump. For ESG and climate risk, this was a critical moment as anti-ESG movements gained traction and the US took some of the most regressive climate policy stances in decades. The decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement sent shockwaves through the global community. As one of the world's largest greenhouse gas emitters, the United States' departure undermines global solidarity in addressing climate change. It also encouraged other nations, particularly developing ones, to deprioritize their climate commitments. It also delays collective progress, increasing the risk for vulnerable regions, including Africa. The Trump administration's rollback of over 100 environmental regulations signals a shift away from sustainability. This encourages corporations to deprioritize climate responsibilities and has had a ripple effect worldwide, particularly in Africa, where climate adaptation efforts heavily depend on international support. Despite this, 24 US governors pledged to uphold the Paris Agreement goals, proving that climate action is not dependent on a single leader, but rather a collective effort. In line with President Cyril Ramaphosa's call for green industrialization at Davos this year, the G20 offers a unique platform for South Africa to champion sustainable economic growth. By integrating ESG principles and fostering innovation, we can drive change that benefits our economy and the global community, ensuring a resilient and inclusive future for all. African nations are amongst the most vulnerable to climate change, facing challenges such as water scarcity, food insecurity, and dependence on climate-sensitive industries like agriculture. The United States' retreat from climate commitments has major impacts, which include reduced funding for adaptation and mitigation projects for Africa, increased financial burdens on African governments to address escalating climate risk independently, created uncertainty in international frameworks, delaying solutions tailored to Africa's needs. The weakening of global climate policies affects supply chains, exposing developing nations to disruptions such as extreme weather events and resource shortages. Within the private sector, this has also resulted in slower institutionalization of ESG as businesses feel less pressure to act on climate risks. Increased greenwashing, where companies signal ESG progress without real action, as well as delayed advancements in green technologies like renewable energy and carbon capture. However, for Africa, we have an opportunity to lead in sustainability. From renewable energy investments to supply chain transparency, the continent can redefine global sustainability standards. Globally, ESG data remains a challenge due to high administrative burdens requiring extensive resources and documentation, the lack of standardization across frameworks like GRI, TCFD, and CDP, high costs which make ESG reporting unfeasible for smaller companies, and greenwashing where companies overstate their ESG achievements. For Africa, ESG reporting faces additional hurdles where we have limited financial and human resources. Competing priorities like poverty alleviation and infrastructure development, as well as a mismatch between global ESG frameworks and Africa's local realities. Yet Africa holds immense potential. With its renewable energy resources, growing tech ecosystem, and a youthful population. So, by leveraging global frameworks while tailoring them to local contexts, African companies can attract investments, build resilient industries, and lead in sustainability. South Africa has committed to achieving a net zero emissions target by 2050. However, we still have key challenges remaining, such as heavy reliance on coal for energy, policy and infrastructure gaps, and slow transition to renewable energy. So, to meet our net zero goals, South Africa must accelerate renewable energy investments, promote green innovation, and strengthen corporate disclosure requirements to track progress effectively. Key environmental disclosures needed include carbon emission scope 1, 2, and 3, energy consumption and renewable energy use, water usage and management, waste management and recycling efforts, biodiversity impact, and climate risk assessments. By prioritizing ESG transparency, South Africa and the rest of Africa can unlock capital, build investor trust, and drive sustainable development. Transparent ESG disclosure creates tangible benefits, which include access to global capital as investors prioritize ESG compliant companies, boosting Africa's investment potential. It lowers the cost of debt, while firms with sound ESG practices benefit from lower borrowing costs and increased investor confidence, as well as it increases green innovation as sustainable finance instruments like green bonds and carbon credits foster economic growth while addressing climate risks. And beyond financial benefits, ESG disclosure also builds trust and accountability between various stakeholders. It exposes greenwashing to ensure genuine sustainability efforts are rewarded. It also creates jobs in the green sector, from renewable energy to carbon counting, and it promotes social equity by driving fairer labor practices and community investments. So, for Africa, ESG disclosure is not just about global standards, it's about shaping them. January also brought significant other developments in AI. The launch of DeepSeek, an open source model from China, posed a challenge for major AI players like OpenAI. Its affordability and accessibility could democratize AI, driving competition and innovation globally. AI has the potential to transform ESG practices by improving data collection, enhancing climate risk modeling, and optimizing energy efficiency. Using AI and machine learning, Risk Insights has mined over 1,000 companies' ESG data in Africa, allowing companies to understand their baseline reporting and drive capacity building and stewardship. In the next episode, we'll explore the intersection of AI, energy transition, and social integration. Thank you for joining me today on ESG Matters with Risk Insights. I hope you found this episode insightful, and if you did, don't forget to like it, subscribe, and share this with your peers. If you'd like to be notified every time we release a new episode, click the bell icon below. Join me again on Valentine's Day for a new episode where we'll dive deeper into AI's role in shaping the future of sustainability. Until next time, I'm Anushka Bogdanov. Ciao for now.